Hello. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers. In the name of the PAN Parks Foundation, for us, academic research is really important in guiding us through the complexities of sustainable tourism. And actually, at the moment, we are revising our approach towards local communities and local partners. So I hope I'll go home with some really good ideas, because indeed it's a tough subject, and at least for us as a foundation, in roughly 14 years of experience, we can say it's both a success and an inevitable burden. So, yeah, no. Okay, I'll begin my presentation with, with a very brief introduction on what is the PAN Parks Foundation. We like to believe we are the leading organization in Europe working for the protection of Europe's last remaining wilderness. And we have been founded in 1999. And the approach that distinguished us at the moment is to see, I like to be extreme. Yeah. The approach that distinguished us in the beginning, and we believe it still does, it's our approach that integrates both wilderness conservation and sustainable tourism development. We believe, and we strongly believe, I know there have been some opinions from the presenters before me, that maybe sustainable tourism is more of an ideal subject, or maybe its time has passed. But we, as a conservation foundation, strongly believe that sustainable tourism can, with a lot of work and on the long term, be a win-win-win situation for environment, for hosts, and for the tourism industry. We believe sustainable tourism raises awareness on the importance of wilderness protection, generates income, and subsequently protects and helps local community conserve their local culture and get some income. And also it controls and sets boundaries to tourism development that I guess everybody in the room knows at least one protected area that was damaged by chaotic tourism development. Currently, we are involved in the European Ecotourism Learning Network program as a partner, and this program is co-financed by the European Commission. And it very soon this year is going to close actually, and a set of a new European ecotourism labeling standard will be launched. Actually, it's already existing. Yes, we are a partner in this project, but we hope it will go one step closer for ecotourism development in Europe in a more coordinated level. Continuing with the PAN Parks Foundation, our goal is to protect 1 million hectares of wilderness by 2015. And we do this through the European Wilderness Preservation System. Currently we have, as you can see, 838,839 hectares, and I'm very happy to say that actually we're going to reach our goal before 2015. And you can see on this map, we have where the red dots are the protected areas from the European Wilderness Preservation System. They pretty much spread all around the continent, with some exceptions in Western Europe. Unfortunately, it's more difficult to find in Western Europe's protect areas that fulfill the wilderness criteria of the PAN Parks Foundation. And you can see the red dots. We have the logo of the PAN Parks Foundation and some simple red dots, because we have two types of protected areas, including including in the European Wilderness Preservation System. So we have certified PAN parks, and two of them are actually in Finland, Ulanka and Archipelago, and one of them in Estonia, Soma National Park. And these 13 certified PAN parks are national parks with over 10,000 hectares of complete wilderness, with no extractive use, with excellent visitor management, with excellent sustainable tourism strategies. And the rest, the other red dots are, the wilderness partners, also protected areas, but with less wilderness to the standards of the PAN Parks Foundation, but they are also very important in reaching our 1 million hectare goal. And this is the point where I start the discussion towards our local local partners and local communities. In the 13 certified PEN parks, we encourage the development of sustainable tourism by partnering with international and incoming tour operators who then organize PEN park trips guided by the rules of sustainable tourism in these national parks. For instance, we have in Ulanka and in many other parks from the network, we have tourism partner organizing this kind of PEN park trips using local services. It's a mandatory condition that they use local services, local accommodation, and so on. And yes, this brings us to the main topic of my presentation: our network of certified local business partners. It was our goal when it was the goal of the PEN Park Foundation back when they decided to integrate sustainable tourism to create a very strong link with the local community. So at the time, the PEN Park Foundation believed the creation of the certified local business partners network to be the best solution to bring the community closer to the goals of the foundation, but also to get the community involved and understand that protecting these wilderness areas can generate income for their development. So PEN Parks Foundation established a certification system on which responsible local business partners from the areas of the certified national parks would be included in our network. These are usually small, medium-sized enterprises, accommodation, local operators, local services, and they are an integral part of the sustainable tourism strategy development that each of the PEN parks has and implements. It's actually one of the requirements of certifying a national park as a PEN park for them to create this network of local business partners. In our vision, the certified local business partners should work closely with the local community, and actually most of them have done this, and to get the local community engaged in wilderness protection by presenting them with income-generating opportunities. Moreover, and this is where, to be honest, a bit the ideal part comes from, in our vision, the local business partners should be committed to our values, to the values of wilderness conservation and sound environmental management, to offer quality services, to their tourists, to commit to an efficient collaboration with other responsible and essential stakeholders, and to the economic development of the local community, but also to the protection of its heritage. Nonetheless, it's easier said than done in practice, and after 14 years of dealing with local communities, the PEN Parks Foundation can say learned its lessons. And I would insist more on the challenges we faced in trying to build this network of local partners committed to our goals and committed to the community and committed to the values of sustainable tourism. And definitely the most important challenge is the fact that we used a single approach for different countries with very different socio-economic, cultural backgrounds, different levels of local participation, different levels of economic development, of collaboration between stakeholders. And for instance, I would say that currently we have roughly over 40 local partners across the 30 national parks. And I would say our approach has worked excellent in countries like Finland, like Sweden, even Estonia, and has worked, let's say, not so well in countries like Romania perhaps, or Bulgaria, but Romania especially. So I would say this was the main challenge we faced, the fact that there isn't kind of a straightforward solution. You have it's like one of the presenters before me said, it's a context-based situation and you have to treat each case separately. And afterwards, I would say another challenge is the lack of collaboration at the local level in some of the countries, of course, not in all. In some of the countries we have this kind of under-organized, small, medium-sized enterprises. There isn't pretty much a common goal, purpose in all countries from one network. Other challenges in some of these areas, there is there are few small, medium-sized enterprises. There are a lot of old people. There isn't enough financial revenue to set up new business in tourism. Also, some local business partners lack tourism expertise, lack knowledge of marketing, of services, and yeah, sometimes it's a lack of strategic thinking, a lack of understanding what sustainable tourism is, because sustainable tourism in the end requires long-term thinking. And in some cases we are faced with some very, let's say, with an initial enthusiasm that was followed by disengagement. Local business partners waited for results really fast to happen. They expected the partnership with a conservation organization would bring them thousands, perhaps, of tourists roughly over the summer without them having to do any kind of marketing. I'm being very honest here, but this is yeah, one of the challenges, a big one. And another challenge is the fact that the communication problem, the fact that in some of the countries where we have the certified land parks, we have a language barrier in terms of English communication. This is not a problem for Nordic countries, but it's a bit more problematic for southern destinations or for eastern destinations. This, I would say, are the biggest challenges the PEMPARKS Foundation has faced in its 14 years of trying to build this local network of partners that would link the local community to wilderness conservation. And actually, at the moment, we are revising our approach, and we are testing in our newest park, certified PEMPARK. It's a Turkish park, Kure Mountains National Park. We are testing a new certification system for local partners that uses more input from tour operators, from tourists, focuses more on service quality, on tourism expertise, and on good communication process. Our previous certification system was pretty much, I would say, complex, developed on pretty solid number of indicators, and as it turns out, with indicators, it's a pretty complex situation. Sometimes can just get lost in translation, if I can say so. We are also trying to develop educational tools, maybe some continuous webinars for some of the local business partners, including interpretation techniques, marketing tips, and yes, we are trying to apply for several European funded projects that would include the development of local business partners and the local community towards the cooperation with protected areas. Clearly, there are more potential solutions. We have to, but I would say our main lesson learned is the fact that we have to take each country and each protected area step by step. We have to think context-based, because it's a big distance from theory to practice, and how even in the same local community, for instance, yeah, I'll skip to the next. We have best case examples. For instance, in Italy, we have a lot of local partners, and some of them, like Il Grande Faggio or Agriturismo Pietrantica, are excellent examples of local partners. But in the same location, we had less committed local partners that, yeah, in the end faded out from our goals, I would say. But if I'm on this slide, I'd like to say that definitely our best case example is from Finland. It's based Camp Lanka. And I would, yes, I try to be brief, so we finish on time. But yeah, what I'd like to say in the end is that involving local communities in developing sustainable tourism alongside protected areas, it's really complex. It has its upsides. Sometimes you have a lot of satisfaction when you see local partners actually talking to tourists about your conservation goals and spreading around the world and asking, even some of them even ask for donations for conservation. But yes, it's a pretty complex task to get all of them on the same picture. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much indeed. Does anybody have questions, please, for Diana? Yeah.
Thank you, Diana, for the interesting presentation. Fun park is an interesting concept, and I think you, even though it's fun parks, it's about conserving wilderness.
Yes.
in Europe. Right. So I have two, I think, related questions. Are there any specific difficulties to define one European standard for wilderness?
Yes, of course. For instance, the national parks we certify, they have to fulfill a set of pretty tough criteria. For instance, they have to have 10,000 hectares of wilderness where there is no extractive use, no logging, no access, no human intervention. So this is why it's pretty difficult to find extensive, because there are a lot of protected areas across Europe, but not few of them have 10,000 hectares of wilderness completely protected with no human setting foot there. And also they have to have a really sound visitor management strategy, a sustainable tourism development strategy planned with local people, with members of the local community. So it's, yeah.
That cleared the other comment, because I was wondering that we have 9 designated wilderness areas in Finland, but they were not in your map.
You have to. You have to.
We have?
Yes, we have 2 national parks.
No, but we have 9
Yes.
designated wilderness.
Okay.
I mean, protected by the wilderness law. They are wilderness areas, but
yes.
we don't have them there. But you actually answered that question.
Yeah.
It is that because logging is allowed, reindeer herding is allowed, and some other uses are allowed, but so are also in all of the national parks.
Yes, but they have
Hunting
this
and
area. Yes, but they have, like in Lanka and all other pen parks, they have this area set aside where there is no grazing. Of course, there is grazing around the park, but there is one wilderness core area where there isn't. So yeah, be sure they have 10,000, at least 10,000 hectares.
Thank you, Diana. One question.
Yes.
How often do you monitor these areas? I mean, if there are changes, if something happens, do you take the certificate away, or how do you audit them?
Well, actually, we started doing this last year because we ended up with a big discrepancy between some of our local partners, as I said, some doing an excellent job, and other, well, it's exactly the opposite. So we started taking away the identity elements that branded them as Penpark's local partners. However, these are like really, I would say, some few cases. Generally, although we have very varying cases, some excellent best case examples and some less committed, usually I would say it's in the middle. But yes, we are currently changing our approach to local partners. We want them to actually be involved members in the local community and help us deal with the local community. So yeah, in the future, if things don't work out, we are going to maybe take the certification system away.
Anybody have any other questions? Okay, no, so thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, Dan.